I'll get right to the point. How badly do you want a new world of peace, harmony, joy, freedom for all, abundance of beauty and goodness? How many of you really want to awaken from this dream? This dream of enslavement is actually what it is. We are in a prison and we don't even realize it. You know the story about the rat in the pot that the scientists found that if he had a big pot and he threw rats in or mice or whatever it was and put it on low, they didn't jump out. And they kept increasing the heat and they never jumped out. Because why? They got used to it. It became their norm until they were actually cooked to death. So when I hear people say right now, we just want things back to normal, I mean, I'm just astounded. To normal? What's normal? That you are a prisoner, a slave on this planet? Because you don't really have freedom. You don't have freedom to create everything you want in life as our brain is capable of giving us and doing for us. Taught the proper means of a proper education would be looking into our capabilities, our potential for magnificence. Instead, we're trained to do mundane things in an office or a factory, or be enslaved to credit cards because things become more and more and more and more expensive each time those 1% of the 1%ers decide it's a great time to crash the market, because then they get to go in and scoop it all up for nothing. Your home that was maybe now lost because you couldn't make the mortgage payment. Your loss of job so you can't hold on to the decency of just a basic living. Is that freedom? No, it's total corruption. And we have been conditioned like those rats in the lukewarm to boiling water to just think that's the norm. This is ridiculous. I don't want this world back how it was before this whole virus thing happened. It's our opportunity. It is our opportunity to trust our faith in our Creator. And I wrote a poem in 2009 before my world fell apart, my material world fell apart. My 3 homes, my land, everything that I thought was my safety and security, gone. But I'll read you just the very beginning of a 2-page poem. Let me see if I can have it here, and the very end. And then I'm going to ask you the question, are you willing to? This is like the voice of God. What do you want, you ask me? To stand in your light, to know you fully, I respond. Or, you say to me, or I will die trying, I responded. And I meant that. I had enough. I needed to get off the merry-go-round, this rat that's running around in his little spiral cage on his treadmill, getting nowhere at all. I saw the patterns in my own life, how I'd created amazing things. And then I got to that dissatisfaction and some part of me crashed that world around me. And then I got into the fear about, survival. So I recreated that world. But no matter how much I had in life, I never felt truly secure, truly enjoy. Why is that? So here's the end, towards the end of this poem. Let me dive so profoundly that I feel your warmth and bathe in oneness with the sweetness of your breath. Allow me to wear your cloak of light, bejeweled with all the stars of the universe, dragging 10,000 suns upon its train. Hence my warning, you said to me. Beware, for I am standing right here, closer than your breath or the wings of a moth, touching the flame. What you ask is to die of all you think you know. I choked for a moment, not knowing if I could survive any more pain, any more sorrow. But I have no choice. I am like that moth in the dark of night, unable to resist the bright and beckoning flame. Then you must do this one thing, you say. Allow your armor of 10,000 lifetimes and more to fracture, just a little, to give me some way in. That was a poem to my beloved creator, just the beginning and the end of it. And it was so profound, that energy that was coming through me, of knowing from every core, every cell of my being, I could not go back anymore to the old materialistic world, no matter what. Friends fell away that had money, and suddenly I wasn't in the same league anymore. And I was happy for that, because those were not people I wanted in my life. I never quite found the place that felt like home. And so I moved quite a bit after that time, watching things fall further and further apart, and always holding on to the knowing that there was something deeper that was trying to happen, something beyond anything human. So the divine soul gets to a point where it just can't play in this playground anymore. All of the luxuries of life, all the adventures and the vacations and the holidays here and there can never satisfy it any longer, or for very long. Because truly what we want is freedom. True freedom, not this artificial freedom. It's like when somebody has a really horrid disease and they're just skeletal. I've seen this many times. And prior they had told me, well, they wanted to be on the planet as long as they had quality of life. It was just like that rat in the pot. They didn't realize they were losing quality of life every single day, and sometimes moments, and they were holding on for fear of the unknown. And it was sad to see. So I always made it very clear that I don't want to be on machines. I don't want to be on medication. When this body needs to be cast aside, let it be cast aside. I don't buy into the fear stuff of death. There is no death. There's constant resurrection, if you want to look at it like that. That is what we're going through right now. We are going through a soul resurrection. We have an opportunity right now to buy into the fear, the blame, the victimhood, the poor me, or we can transcend it. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes not to go back to the old norm, to that corrupt world of control, manipulation, enslavement of 99% of the humans on the planet. It's not okay. So let's see how much you really want to awaken. Do you really want the red pill? Or are you going to grab the blue? Stay in your illusion of what you think is wonderful. So the first question is, number one, are you willing to lose your home? Most of you really don't want to do that. Are you willing to lose your car? Most people are going to hesitate. Are you willing to lose everything that you believe is safety, that brings you security? Because if you don't have faith, if you don't have trust in the divine creator, knowing this is not what was meant to happen on this magnificent planet, this jewel in the universe, if you don't understand that this corruption, this pedophilia, the children that are now being rescued in the tunnels, some that have never seen the light of day, if you want to stay in that world and cover your face, cover your eyes, you do that. But I'm not going to do that. So if one day you happen across a beautiful park with a pond and I'm on that bench, I'll be much more happy than you holding on to your fears, your beliefs in not enough, and that the universe wouldn't take care of you and allow you to do what you really came to do. So you may not like this video very much, and that's okay. I'm really okay with that. I'm just asking the question, how much are you really willing to lose to have a new world of peace, of joy, of equality, the ability to really find out the magnificence of this human body and brain and its potential, and our deep connection to source that can never be lost? We just forgot about it. We just dismissed it for the latest material thing shown on television or an ad on the computer or whatever. We traded in our sovereignty, our joy, for stuff. I'm done. So it is an opportunity to detox. This is a planetary detox. When I listen to someone speak about this virus and what is it, when the body is getting rid of all these toxins, like a fever, comes up and it's killing off. It's throwing out, that's what this virus is. It's throwing out toxicity. So isn't that what we're doing? We are detoxing ourselves. Yes, I'm not saying not to be aware of what is going on in the world. We need to be aware. We have to see. We don't have to play in that pond, but we have to be willing to open our eyes and know that this is not okay anymore as a collective. And so it's time to detox. I had some other notes, but I know people don't really want to listen very long. So I'll just say quickly, rebuild. It's an opportunity to rebuild our foundation from the ground up. We get to rebuild. And for the phoenix to rise from the ashes, that can't happen if we keep holding on to part of the old structures that aren't working. Think about it. The schools with the bullying and weapons that come. And it's horrific. Every single thing. That's just the school system, what it's become. And it goes on and on and on, from chemicals in our food, in our air, closing up the pineal. Since, what was it, the 60s, they started putting the fluoride, knowing the pineal gland was our direct connection to source. So you can keep playing dumb down. You can keep doing that and hold on with all your strength to what you think is so important. But when you're done with that, start going inside and ask, do I really, really want to know who I truly am and my connection to source? Or am I just playing? Have a great day.